Warning, there will be spoilers on this show. Please do not send us hate mail. Proceed at your own risk.
Welcome to the First Six podcast. I'm half of this show, and my name is Molly Southgate.
And I'm the other half, Tabby Hollywood.
And today we will be talking about Katy Keene.
A group of aspiring artists living in New York City try to make their dreams come true.
It stars Lucy Hale, Ashley Murray, Catherine Lanassa, Julia Chan, Johnny Beauchamp, Lucien Leviscount, did I say that right? Zane Holtz, Camille Hyde, and Nathan Lee Graham.
I don't have any fun facts for this one.
I think the real reason that there aren't any fun facts for this was because the show was hell, and it was not fun.
What?
Did you like it?
I did.
Oh. I did not.
So, this got canceled after one season. I was confused why. It seems like something that people would like. Maybe it gets bad later on, but...
Oh, okay. Well, I used to, every Christmas, my mom and I would watch, this is a long tale, my mom and I would watch Hallmark Channel movies.
Oh.
On Christmas. And so I know all the tropes. We tried again last year. It was like our tradition. And then we sat down and all of a sudden we woke up, we're like, why did we watch these?
I know.
They're terrible. And by that point, we knew all of the tropes. We knew how the acting would go. We knew every single thing. And when watching this show, they used every single plot line, every single trope, all of it. It just felt like watching a 6-hour-long Hallmark movie.
That actually, okay. There were times where I was like, oh, they could have sounded more excited there. They sounded very sarcastic when I don't think they were supposed to be. But overall, I liked it. I don't think that they did that too much. What kind of things do you mean?
I mean, like, the general plot. Like, I think the acting was fine. I'm not talking, like, it wasn't, like, the best. It wasn't, like, Little Fires Everywhere blew me away. This didn't. Yes. But it was just like, okay, it's good. But the plot, I was describing it to my mom. I'm like, oh, well, she goes to New York with big city dreams and meets her coincidentally diverse friend group.
Okay.
Oh no, her boyfriend and her have conflicting dreams, so she runs off and has a secret affair with a prince. That is the plot of every movie.
Okay. Josie. I hated her so much.
What did they do to that character?
She is okay. She kept. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the beginning, I am pretty sure that she says like, "Yeah, I've been dying to meet you, Veronica," because this is Josie from Riverdale. So Veronica Lodge says so much about you, you know, as if they haven't met before. And then they were like best friends, and she like, I thought we were such good friends. Why would you do this to me? Oh, no.
Yeah. She did that to all of them. And, like, Pepper doesn't even live with them. They met Pepper.
With them, Pepper doesn't really know her. And she's like, you're supposed to be friends. Well, guess what, Josie? It's her job to find the gossip and write about it. And then she says that she doesn't do it, and she keeps pressuring her. And then later, okay. Actually, we're on the wrong episode right now. I'm just
this is a general discussion. We can be angry in this general discussion.
And then later, she goes to Alex, her boyfriend that she knew 2 days before, like, I don't know. She knew him.
And Alex sucks. And she's like, okay, wait. She has a line. I don't think I wrote it down, but she says, she's like, I haven't had this much chemistry with someone since Archie Andrews. And I was like, what chemistry did she have with Archie?
I think that they do in the later seasons of Riverdale, they probably.
Okay, but still.
Yeah, but
she does that, and then I didn't think, like, her and Alexander Cabot really had that much chemistry. I mean, like, they're both not great humans.
I know, right? I did not like Alex. I thought that she was very unfair to Alex.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she goes to Alex and she's like, I almost lost a friend because of this. A friend that you've known for 2 months and you don't even like. And if you did lose a friend, it would be all your fault, Josie.
Okay, and do they ever explain how Pepper became friends with them? Because she totally does not fit. Like, I can see, like, Katie moving in with Jorge because, like, she found an apartment ad or something. Like, that makes sense. Josie makes sense. But Pepper? It's like, what is this random girl who's, like, a socialite that has no money? What?
I think they went to high school together.
They did? Okay. But I
think so. I don't even remember now. But
they did a weird way of explaining it.
Jorge, I think he must have missed something. Jorge and Josie went to high school together. And then when he came out to his parents, he had to go stay with Josie. So now, not Josie, sorry, with Katie and her mom. And now they're
Jorge and Josie went to high school?
No, Jorge and Katie went to high school. I said the wrong name, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, and then I felt like the Riverdale crossovers were strange. Because it does not feel similar to that show.
Yeah,
at all. But then they had Josie in.
Well, I think the thing is Josie and Veronica Lodge were friends, and Katie and Veronica Lodge were friends. So they kind of just got pushed together.
Yeah. Okay.
And I love the fact that they kept being like, oh, it's fine. I'm from Riverdale.
Yeah, it's okay. I liked that. I thought that part was funny.
I did like that.
And then she just looks at them like deadpans. I did love Josie in this moment when she just kind of looks at them and deadpans and she's like, I'm from Riverdale. Murder capital of the world.
Yes, that was hilarious.
I have one more grievance to air.
Okay.
And it is called, what the actual hell is going on in those musical numbers?
Okay, this is not a musical. No. I thought it was supposed to be a musical.
Me too.
It's a comedy musical. It is not a musical TV show. It's a TV
comedy.
Show with musical in it. With musicals in it. With music in it. That's it.
Okay, like the Josie stuff, that's fine. She's a singer. But why was Pepper singing? Why were they singing? They're like, let's cheer you up and awkwardly sing into your eyes and do a whole dance number that we magically know.
I know. I think that was... They like do that dance number a lot. It's probably from like their favorite show or something. My problem was I was so excited to watch a musical TV show because they're like my favorite. I love musical TV shows. And this was not a musical TV show.
I don't love musical TV shows, but I can watch them and I'm fine with watching them. So I was emotionally prepared to watch a musical. But when I got into this, we were just prepared in very different ways. But
she was prepared to like have to deal with a musical TV show. I was prepared to have an amazing time watching a musical.
Yes, and I actually got it up to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of excited. I did love the first few episodes of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I've liked musical shows in the past. Let's try this. And then I get in. I'm like, okay, wait, weird. There's just a strange voiceover and no musical. And then...
What was up with that?
Oh my gosh. When they did the awkward numbers, that was my issue. When they did... I don't care. Like, when Jorge was performing or when Josie was performing, those made sense. Those fit. But this was less of a musical than Riverdale. You could say that Riverdale's a musical TV show by going by this logic.
Exactly. See, I think if they hadn't done, like, the really awkward musical numbers, then I would have been okay with it. Because I would have been like, oh, okay, they're not even going to try to make it into, like, a musical. But they tried, and it was terrible.
And it was always
so
like
awkward.
Songs, like it wasn't original musical songs or anything. How did Josie know the dance moves? How did they know when to enter and exit?
I think that the fact that Jorge and Pepper knew the dance moves and Katy totally made sense. They've been friends since they were in like high school. They mentioned that they've been doing these dances since they were like in high school. Why did Josie know that?
I know. And I was a little confused as why Pepper was such a good singer.
I don't think that's actually
I don't think that's her actual voice. I don't know, but
she used auto-tune.
But I was like, why are they doing this? I would have, okay, you know what I would have liked? If they had taken it, I would have liked them not have those forced musical things at all. Yeah. But
also,
if they had to do those, I would have liked it much more if they made their dance less polished. I've been doing some dances with my friends, like forever. Like, we have certain songs that we like, but it's still like awkward, and like we're still trying to learn, and like we kind of like move strangely when we do it. And like I would have liked to see them, like Jorge, and like Jorge, that's fine if he's like really good because he also is ginger. Yes. But then like, what is Katy? Like, why are Katy and Pepper?
I think Katy and Jorge make sense because they live together, so I feel like they probably do these dances a lot, and Jorge probably teaches her to dance and stuff. But Josie, I don't understand how she knew the moves, and Pepper should not have like been so polished. I think I agree with you that she should have been kind of a mess.
I know, and I felt like Katy should have been a little bit more of a mess too.
A little bit more of the mess, but I think that she should have like. It goes Jorge, Katy, Pepper, and then probably Josie.
Yeah, and like I don't know what was happening. I loved Josie's character in Riverdale.
You did? Did I? I don't remember.
I liked the actress, and I thought she was cool in that. Like I liked her plot lines. I always enjoyed her on stage. I mean, on screen. What am I? On screen. But. What did they do to her here?
Oh, right. Like, what was that?
It was so forced that it was Josie.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think that they could have honestly just taken somebody who wasn't Josie.
Veronica would have made so much more sense. Because they said she was already friends with Katy, like saying, oh, I want to come and I want to work on, I don't know what Veronica does. I want to work on doing this job or something. Yeah. Well, here... And I want to stay with you in New York. But Josie was so random.
Yeah, I did not like that. Okay. I hated Josie so much. Oh, yeah. So much. Okay. Do you want to move on to episode by episode now?
I think we should, because I've got more grievances to air.
Okay.
Katy Keene struggles to manage the pressure of her job at Lacey's department store and her very demanding boss. Katy's longtime boyfriend reveals something surprising. Jorge auditions for a Broadway play, but it doesn't go as planned.
Okay. So, that is the IMDb version of episode 1. Katy Keene, she is a fashion designer, but she's putting away her dreams to find a more reasonable job, and she is working at Lacey's, which I love the fact that it was a Lacey's instead of a Macy's.
Is it sad that it took me that long to get that?
No, real okay. And there was a Plunkin' Donuts instead of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, okay. That was
Total Foods.
Yeah, I loved all the off-brand.
I loved how they did stuff like that. But anyway, Jorge has a big Broadway audition, as she said. Josie has just moved to New York and meets Katy for the very first time, which was so weird.
And then they're already best friends. And then I said, and then they're already best friends, apparently, even though they've never met.
They've never met. Like, what?
Okay, I have to say, one of the only things that I liked about Josie in this show was her awesome Prince t-shirt. At one point during the first episode, she wore it, and I was like, yeah, cool shirt. And then for the rest of the show, I was just like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Katie's supposed to have amazing fashion sense. She's an amazing designer. I hated basically all the clothes she wore.
Wearing?
Apparently, so as we've said, we don't really have much fashion sense. I wear like jeans and a random t-shirt I can find at the thrift store because that's what's comfortable. I don't like dressing all fancy.
Okay, I do like dressing fancy, but I don't like other people's fashion. Like, I don't like what's considered high fashion usually. So I was watching this, and I'm like, why is the shirt so puffy? What is...
Like, puffy, what is with, like, the weird shoulder pads, I think?
There were so many shoulder pads in the show. There were way too many.
Way too many.
For a show that takes place in current times, there were too many. If it had been in the 80s, that would have been acceptable.
Okay.
But not now. Not now.
And, like, all of her dresses had so much glitter.
Yeah, it was hurting my eyes.
It was like, okay, who wants to wear, like, itchy glitter and sequins all the time?
Oh, okay. I keep getting, like, it's like this, like, traumatic flashback to this one dress that she wore. And it was that one. It might have just been on display. And it's that pink one that the girl liked so much when she was dressing Prince Errol's girlfriend.
Yes.
And it was pink and it was, like,
it looks almost
crocheted.
Shade, maybe?
Crocheted. Pink, different shades of pink and glitter and, like, weird hearts. It looked like something that like, you would put a toddler in.
It does. And why was she wearing that? Oh my gosh, that dress, it's so awesome.
Like, and she's like, that's clearly something that I would wear. They said that she was, like, a bartender in, like, the rougher part of the city. And, like, she didn't seem like the kind of person that would wear her weird glitter dress that was ill-fitting.
But point is, we do not like Katie's fashion.
Oh, yeah. I have one more thing to add about this. Is this, like, a thing where people wear, like, a tight-fitting shirt, like a tank top or something, and then put a mesh, like, puffy shirt over it?
I don't know. They did that a lot. They were,
I saw that a lot.
Like, okay, I saw so many. They looked like really, really, like, small and tight, like tank tops or something. Okay, they wore tank tops a lot in this show for it being the middle of January.
Oh yeah, it's winter. I forgot that. They're all gonna freeze to death. So many
tank tops and mesh. They wore so much tank tops, mesh, like denim shorts, skirts, dresses, no long pants. They didn't even wear, like, tights or something with the dresses. Like, it's the middle of winter in New York. How?
They've got to be freezing. Okay, actually, I found the thing that made me the most upset about her wardrobe. It was so dumb. The first shot, she's got a shirt on that says, I heart, with a heart, K-O. That's her boyfriend. If I ever have a significant other, I'm not going to put their name on a tacky shirt and be like, I heart. I was like, no. That was when I think that first moment solidified for me. I'm like, nope, I cannot like this show. I don't think I'll like this one because this terrible, terrible fashion choice.
Yeah. I did not like the I Heart KO shirt.
Oh. It was so
What
bad.
was up with it? And does Josie meet Alexander Cabot in this episode?
She does. She goes and, once again, very tropey. She goes and she sees an old woman singing on a park bench. And Josie comes up to her and they start in a beautiful harmonic song together. And a big shot record producer's there, and he whisks her away, and they have perfect chemistry, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, and he's apparently
in a full relationship with his sister?
Like, what?
Yeah,
That's really, really weird. And then at the very end of this episode, Ko proposes to Katie, and boom, the episode's over.
Yeah, also, okay, I thought it was a little strange that she had only ever been with KO. Because they were very different people.
Well,
and
they
I
said
didn't
that they
feel...
when they were, and then she kind of just stayed with him through when her mom got sick, when her mom died, and then...
I did not feel the love coming. And if you're supposed to feel like, oh, they have been together since high school and they're like 30 now. Like
No.
Yeah.
No, they're like 21 or 20s.
No, they
26.
said they've already been through college. They're probably like later 20s.
They're not 30. Okay, this is from episode 4, but I am going to say it now. So someone says it takes twice as long as a relationship to heal. And for women, for women it takes twice as long than your relationship to heal or something. And Katy says, so 20 years? Meaning she was with KO for 10 years almost. And earlier she says she has been with KO she has seen KO almost every day since she was 16. Therefore, meaning she is 26, unless they were together before that and they just started seeing each other more when they turned 16. Huh?
Wow. Okay, so the audience cannot see right now, but my eyes are wide because I just got mathed real hard. That was excellent. Thank you for that. But,
yes,
okay, so now I know. So that she's 26.
She's around 26. So mid-20s.
I just did not feel like they had that much chemistry at all. And like they said, she's like, no, I do love him, but I don't feel like we can get married yet. I'm like, heck yeah, you can't get married yet. You have no chemistry, except the only thing I saw that showed that they were like actually in love was the fact that she had a shirt
that said
it.
No, I thought that they did. I thought that she just didn't want to get, I thought that they were younger, I think. So I was like, oh yeah, they think that they're too young to get married.
But no, they're fully adults.
They're mid-20s. They're mid-20s, and I think it's just because she needs to just focus on her job.
But it also, yeah, and like...
I felt so bad for KO.
I did too, but I just I didn't really like that character. And even in the later episodes, he would come on screen and I just kind of roll my eyes and be like, KO's back.
I didn't like Katy. I liked KO. I thought KO was boring, but I liked him just fine. I really disliked Katy.
I didn't like anyone.
Personality?
I liked Jorge and his mother. I love Jorge's mom.
Yeah, Jorge.
So much.
His mom were good. But other than that, I didn't like them. And at times, I did not like Jorge.
Yeah. There was a lot where I was just kind of not a fan.
Yeah, let's read the description for episode 2. With Katy's personal life in a holding pattern, she can't seem to escape, even at work. Jorge finds himself on the outs with the Broadway community and must decide if he wants to give up forming as Ginger.
Okay, so Katy keeps finding the wedding dresses everywhere she walks.
Yeah, she finds wedding dresses. She sees people talking about engagements. Oh, yes, because, her ring got stolen.
Stolen? Yeah, that was weird when they're like, oh, it's the ring stealer. He runs up and you'll never see him because they're so fast. I was like, what?
That was so funny. And KO's just like, I'm going to go chase him 12 blocks. See ya.
I was like, what is the plot of this show? Everyone, okay. I have to say, I might just recommend it for people just to watch this show because it's so hilarious.
I liked it.
On accident.
Really? I liked it. It doesn't, I know, guys, it doesn't sound like I like it.
It does not sound like you like it.
I mean, I get annoyed with things that I love, so,
Ah, okay. But
okay. So then Katy goes home and she's talking to her friends, and she's just like, it's okay, I just need some quiet time. Like, I need some quiet time. KO shows up and he's like, okay, I'm going to go home. And she goes, no, KO, spend the night. Because, that's definitely spending time alone.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come and stay in my apartment that we don't even have a bedroom for someone.
No, that's not the part I'm talking about. I'm talking about the part, even though, yes, that was also horrible. But when she was saying, right after he proposed, she comes to her door and he's like, so I chased him for 12 blocks. I couldn't catch him. Sorry, but I'm going to go home now. And she's like, oh, no, okay, I'll just spend the night. We'll figure it out in the morning. Do you remember that part?
Oh, yeah. After he chases
like,
the random ring stealer.
Yeah, because he wanted his ring back. But I was like, why did you ask him to spend the night if you just said that you needed some quiet time and to spend the night alone?
Because she wanted another excuse to wear her I Heart KO t-shirt.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious to me that she just is staying with him because she made a t-shirt.
Okay. I mean, the next day she tries to get some alone time, but come on. She was really bad. I really hated her in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I felt so bad for KO in this episode.
Jorge auditions for Hamilton?
Yes.
I noticed that. I was like, wait a second. What is this? At first, I was thinking it was like 1776 or something like that, because they said it was more of a family show. But then he gets there, I'm like, this is just Hamilton.
Except, focused on Jefferson instead.
Yes, I was like, there's no part of this except for that it's only focused on Jefferson. That is not Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In the beginning, I know I'm really upset about this. Why did Josie try to convince Katy, like, oh, Katy, I don't think you should marry KO? I mean, I've only known you for a month. Come on.
I've only known you for a month, but I should decide your life choices, Katy.
Okay. What is going on, Josie?
Okay, I just had a sudden realization. We're making fun of Josie for only knowing Katy for a month and trying to decide her life choices and questioning and, trying to fix her. And that is exactly what we're doing, and we've only known her for 6 episodes.
She's a fictional character. Just...
Aha! We have gotten into a trap of our own making.
Yeah, but that's different. It's different.
Okay.
Different, Molly. Okay, and then at one point, Alex is like, oh, it's okay. So, his sister, in the last episode, I believe, was like, oh, yeah, your song's not very good. We can't fund it. Bye-bye.
Because she's weird and jealous.
And jealous.
Kissing
but
sister.
We'll get that part later, because that hasn't come up. But, and she's like, yeah, Alexander, he does this with, all of the girls. You don't think that, you're the first one he's done this with?
Yeah, she's like, oh, did he find you in Washington Square? Oh, my gosh.
And and Josie's like, okay, yeah, I'm out of here. And then Alexander, this episode, comes up and is saying, you know what? I think I figured out what's wrong. I figured out what Alexander didn't like about it. We can fix this. And Josie's like, I don't. Our song was so good. I don't trust your sister. I'm like, okay, this is my note. I'm going to read it how it was meant to be said. Constructive criticism, Josie. When someone says something is wrong, you try to fix it. You might think it's good, but when the pro says it isn't, then maybe try to change it up a bit, Josie.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm like criticism. I'm like, okay, cool, constructive criticism.
I know. Okay.
I like criticism. I like criticizing. No. But no, criticism is good. So when Josie just completely refuses to believe anything Alexander's saying, I'm like, come on.
Josie, I don't like her in this. Okay, can I just talk about the fact that the Cabots, they're named Alexander and Alexandra.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Matching names are great most of the time, but this was a weird that it's like
it's
Alexander and Alexandra. And then they aren't even related. She's
Figure that out later.
Okay. We'll get to that later, but
Weird,
I was like, how did these two people just happen to find two children named Alexander and Alexandra?
I have read the Josie comics.
Okay.
Our siblings. They're like.
Wait, do they have the same kissing story?
No. They're like actual siblings.
Whew. Scared me for a minute there. I was like, wait.
No. That'd be really weird. But they're actual siblings, you know. And her cat was in it. She's also very mean in that, but I liked her more in that than I do in this.
Josie?
Huh? Josie and Alexandra. She's kind of funny in that. And this, I was just like, yeah, you just...
She was a little too CW-y.
Yeah, you know, I feel like...
Where it's like, I'm very serious. I would have no comedy to me.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways I was like, okay.
But look, I'm a three-dimensional character. I have a streak in my hair.
I know. I think that was one of the reasons why I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Why is your hair like that?
Like,
because the streak kept kind of like fading back. So she had like a gray streak in her black hair, I think.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because it kept fading back, so it looked like she had like gray throughout her hair.
Oh my gosh. Is she like Anna in Frozen? How she has the ice
I hate the head.
Is Alexander Cabot secretly Elsa? This is a very serious question that I need answered. This is why we need a season 2, for these things to be answered.
Molly, you do realize that there's like, how many more episodes? I don't know, like 7 more episodes.
Oh, so there's still time for my ice powers theory to come to fruition? Okay, good.
Okay. In the end of this episode, Katy and Ko go to an engagement party for them that his mom, Ko's mom, threw. That I was like, why are you? Okay, you're not going to just tell her that you're not actually engaged? All right, that's great. And also, why do you plan an engagement party before she says yes?
I know. Okay, because they all put weird expectations on Katy. That family was strange. They're like, Katy, you've been in love with Ko since you were 16. You're going to stay together forever, right, Katy? It was so strange.
Molly's eyes are like super wide.
You can't see that, but I did this whole face, and then Tabby started doing it too, and we started going back and forth. It's times like these when I wish that this show was not only audio, so that way you could see our Gollum family.
Yeah. And so what, Katy and Ko were just gonna lie all night? Like, how far are they gonna take this? It's gonna be until the wedding day, and then they go, haha, psych.
Okay. Now I really wish that maybe we should have just written this show.
Yes. And
Alexander Cabot and Alexandra Cabot would actually be twins, and they would just become Elsa and Anna. And then Katy and Ko would stay together till the wedding day and say psych. I would make the fashion so much worse. Just to, on purpose to make it worse.
Oh, on purpose to make it,
more, to make it funny instead of painful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What would you change?
What would I change? I would say instead of Josie, it would be, I would bring in Veronica instead of Josie, I think.
Agreed. And then we would still have Alexander and Alexandra.
So who knows where Veronica even is at the end of Riverdale?
Probably dead.
Isn't
everyone... I don't know much about Riverdale. I saw it, but I still don't know much. And I just assume that everyone's dead by the end.
They're going to get dead or kidnapped or something.
There's a storyline where Archie gets attacked by a bear. I think
I think
It's safe to say that everyone gets attacked in some way in that show.
yeah. We don't know how it ends, so maybe Veronica can't. But a different character other than Josie.
I can't remember her name. What was Josie's pussycat bandmate that was in love with Archie?
Valerie.
Valerie. I liked that character, and I think she would have been fit in well here.
Valerie's dead too.
Oh, they all died except for Josie. Wait, does that mean that Josie murdered them all if everyone's dead?
Ooh, that would add some more depth to that character.
Yeah. I know that Riverdale, from what I've heard, Riverdale really leans into the like murder aspect, and apparently they realize that they're funny and ridiculous, so they make it more ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we might have accidentally just spoiled a whole bunch of people on Riverdale. And that would be awesome.
I mean,
for us, because that's funny, but not for you, obviously.
Let's see, check. Did we just? Yeah, that was the right episode. For a second, I thought that we just went over the wrong episode.
Oh, all right. Do you want to switch to the next one?
Yes, next episode, Chapter 3. With everything a little off between Katy and Ko, Katy tries to make everything perfect for Valentine's Day. Ko tries to do something nice for the roommates, but only seems to make things worse. Pepper turns to an old friend to get some quick cash.
Okay. So,
yes, Ko has moved in.
Oh, yeah. Which is...
Not a good idea.
Great. Also, what happened to Ko's apartment? Like, what? What, did he just not pay rent anymore? Where does he go after Katy and Ko break up for good? Also, okay.
Katy and Ko break up for good. I think he goes back to his old apartment with his friend.
Okay, but
He had a roommate.
This made me so upset because they do this in shows a lot where two characters just start like making out or ripping their clothes off in the middle of a store in front of the windows. I mean, the store was closed, but the windows were all open. And Josie and Alexander Cabot were in there.
Oh.
Kissing it up. Yeah. And it's like, people are going to walk past. It wasn't like it was 5 a.m. Also, can Josie just randomly close and open the store as she pleases? What happened to the poor owner?
Yeah, the owner, she's just like, yeah, come on, like, let me work in the store. You have to let me work in the store. You have to let me work in the store. Until he's like, fine, geez, you're really annoying. You can work in the store. That's not how he said it. But
I would prefer, that's another change I would make. That he would be that same actor, but he would just say everything like a Valley Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Fine, you could work in the store.
Fine.
Whatever.
No, but apparently she can. It seems like she's his only employee, so.
Yeah, but it just was a little strange that she kept like going, oh, it's okay, I can close the store. Oh, it's fine, I can record in the back room. It's like, what authority does she have this on? Like, what? Where is she getting these facts?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh,
this show is so weird. Oh, again, another Josie moment. Josie and Katy are dragging a giant punching bag up the stairs.
If it was Riverdale, it'd be a body.
Huh?
If it was Riverdale, there'd be a body hidden in the punching bag.
If it was Riverdale, there would be a body. But because she's like, oh, I'm trying to do something nice for Ko. And Josie was saying like, oh, Katy, you don't want to marry him. Just like, you keep doing nice things for him. He's not doing anything for you. Like, you're just giving him what he wants. You're not doing anything for yourself. You shouldn't marry him because I know everything about your relationship.
And she obviously knows everything about love. Babysitting Alexander Cabot.
But Ko tried to marry Katy. She said no. So he's still trying to make it work. He's done so much. I feel like he's done a lot for Katy. Like, yes, Katy's like, it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing, Josie.
It's a two-way amount of selfishness.
No, because, like, I'm trying to think of an instance where KO helped Katie, but I know there was one. Like, you know,
I feel like there was one too.
Like okay, KO. He's like, oh, we've got to like, okay, I guess, are we done? And she's like, no, you can move in. Like, move in. We have to make this work. We have to take another step. And he's like, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna give up my big apartment. I don't know if it was big or not, but I'm guessing it was bigger than what he had. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll move into this tiny apartment for you. And Josie's like, he's never done anything for you. You've done everything for him.
I don't think
Like,
anyone
what?
should listen to Josie ever. Because she gives
Ever.
weird advice
She gives-
and
Nice.
she's had too much murder in Riverdale to...
She's had work in her life to like think clearly.
Yeah. Okay, what was happening in this storyline with Pepper?
Which one was this? Okay.
Okay, did she
It's-
did she become a prostitute
yeah.
with the old man? I was so confused.
No, but then she took his money and was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Thanks for the money. There's your wife.
Okay,
Goodbye.
but it was weird because I was like, wait, why? What was that? They could have had any other storyline for her getting money, but instead they chose her like a creepy old man making moves on Pepper. Oh, I did not like it.
Me neither. Also, Pepper. If anybody ever catches her, she's not paid anybody back. She's in a whole lot of debt. She's doing illegal things. What? Like,
Okay, how did she get to the stage where she knows everyone and is like, well, I was on the talk show with this celebrity and this person. And she has, like, no money and, no offense to Pepper, but she has, like, no skills. They just show her, they're like, oh, she's just British. Being British is her skill.
Thing, no? I think that she doesn't have any skills. She's just really good at confusing people. No.
Ugh.
She's really good at just... No, what she's good at doing
Well, then
is
how
saying,
come
like,
this
I
show
have-
didn't get, like,
and it runs
10,000
away.
seasons?
Huh?
You said it because it's not really good at anything, but it's really good at confusing people.
Exactly.
So the show should have gotten more seasons, according to their logic about Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't... Now
But-
she's confusing me.
And why? Because she can't... They said that she just moved from Britain, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So then she
I
couldn't
think
have
that
gone to
she's-
high school with
She's
them.
been traveling a lot.
Okay. I was very confused with the whole how they met thing.
That's why I thought, oh yeah, she wouldn't have. Maybe they'll explain it in episodes to come. We hope.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
so Katie's storyline. Katie is now there. There's this big work event at Lacey's, and there's going to be a lot of big designers there. He's got a big fight. There's a big event at Lacey's, and she gets out of it. Katie gets out of it, but then she realizes that there's going to be huge designers there, and she's like, no, Gloria, please, like, can I, like, she's asking her boss, can I work it? And her boss is like, okay, sure, I don't care. And then she tells KO, oh, sorry, Gloria made me work it. I can't not.
why doesn't she
can't
just
not-
say to KO, hey, this is one of the biggest opportunities of my entire life. I'm so sorry, but I can't make it to your fight. They have different dreams, and that's allowed. But she's like, oh, but I'm going to go around and sneak around my mean boss who acts like Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada.
What? Okay. But there is, yeah, and later, KO's just saying, you could have told me, I would have understood. But instead, Katie is just lying and thinks that's the best choice because they totally have a good relationship where you have to lie and sneak around.
Yeah, obviously. And then their parents
Oh.
they've still got their weird, we're going to tell you we're not actually engaged on the wedding day, psych, thing going on. So, I don't know what that noise was that just escaped my mouth. That psych noise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of lies. Just a lot.
Yeah, a few. That was weird. And then, in the end, they break up,
Yup.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They break up in the end. And do you know what they do when they break up, Molly?
What?
They stand in the middle of the street, in the middle of New York.
Because that's the most dramatic place.
But see, in Riverdale, that made sense at least, because they're a small town.
Okay, I think the CW really likes standing in the middle of streets and having anguished declarations, either of love or of pain.
We live in Chicago. If I stood in the middle of the street near me, I would get hit by a car.
Okay, I live in the suburbs, and if I stood in the middle of the street, I'd probably also get hit by a car. And, like, it's not even that busy around here, but I probably would if I'm standing there for a whole length of a breakup. Like,
Yeah, that would probably, I mean, and there's, like, no cars going by. What? Like,
at night in New York. Like,
okay, at night in New
I don't think
York-
you need to come to this show for realism.
No, because you can't stand in the middle of the street. I've had friends. Molly has done this where you've like walked across the street. And I've been like, no, there's cars.
Okay.
Don't stop.
Okay, I
Don't
stopped
stop.
when there weren't very many cars, and it was said that the walk sign was still on, there were red lights. It's
Molly,
not
the
my
walk
fault that cars
is-
are mean and tried to attack us. I was very careful. I
No,
just
you
had to sing
weren't,
my
Molly.
show
It
tunes.
was red light.
What?
Wait, you must have read the wrong sign because that was most definitely a red light.
Okay, well that sounds like me. But I was trying to sing my show tunes. It's not my fault.
Singing show tunes in the middle of the street.
I think that
Was
the
very
reason that it didn't work was because both of us didn't sing at the same time. Then we wouldn't have been almost hit.
No, I don't think so. I think that we would still have been almost hit by a car.
Potato. Okay.
Potato-
New subject.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Episode 4. I actually kind of said these notes already in the beginning from episode 4, but anyway. Katie decides to put all of her energy into work. Her breaking up with KO. But she finds herself in hot water again at work. Determined to fix things, she enlists Pepper's help to track down the designer that is the key to saving her job. Meanwhile, Jorge questions his new relationship, and Josie stands up to Alexander and Sandra, which gives her the upper hand.
Okay. Most of my notes are about the musical number. This was the first
bad-
one, and it was maybe the worst one.
Yeah, this is when they were trying to... It was all of them, right? This was the all of them musical number?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. It's that... So there were 2 that were really bad. There's one in episode 4 and one in episode 5.
After that, like, those are the only 2, and those are the 4 of them singing. I did not know Katie could sing, so I looked it up. Yes, she is a singer.
Oh, Lucy Hale is?
Yes, I called her Katie. Yes, but she can actually sing.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I
not
liked
find out
Lucy
if-
Hale in this, actually. I thought that she's fine. I would prefer to see her in, like, a different role that actually is not, like, a Hallmark movie.
I was like, "Ugh, she looks so familiar. Where could I have seen her from? So I looked it up. She's in this, I think it's a Disney or Nickelodeon or something, called Wizards of Waverly Place. That
Yeah.
dance used to watch when we were younger. Used to watch Wizards of Waverly Place during dance.
I never watched that one. I know that there are a few shows, I see a lot of lists like, oh, if you were a kid in the 2000s, you totally watched these. And every time I look at them, I'm like, no. I was watching Parks and Recreation because I've always been 40 years old. But yeah, so I always saw that. So I know that one because all my friends watched it, but I just never got around to that.
So they would watch Wizards of Waverly Place, and I would be stretching and getting ready for dance.
Okay.
Because this is all.
That is great.
I feel like that kind of sums it up instead of like, instead of watching the TV show, I go and I stretch and get ready.
That sounds like you. That sounds accurate.
Sounds like me, right? Do you have any notes?
Well, I said he's way too close to his sister when I thought they were biological siblings. And I was like, this is...
Is it so that you figure it out?
No. I was just confused. I was just like, is this an incest plot? I would not put it past the show.
Yeah, because that was weird.
Yeah.
In fact, okay. But is that your last note for episode 4?
I said I really loved Jorge standing up to his dad. That's my last one. When he was just talking to his dad like, Dad, I need you to stop saying that I don't deserve people because that's causing trouble in my relationships. And I love this firefighter. What?
Yeah, we'll go with... I didn't know he said that to his dad. Okay.
All right. Do you have any more notes?
Nope. Episode 5. With Katy trying to get into fashion school, she knows she needs a recommendation letter, so she turns to Gloria, who puts her to the test, making the ultimate dress, in exchange putting pressure on Katy. Forced to stay inside because of the polar vortex, tensions grow high when Josie and Pepper get into a fight, and Jorge breaks Katy's #1 rule, touching her sewing machine. Meanwhile, Josie is torn about the deal Alexander's dad made her, especially after what Alexander shows her. Alexander's dad basically is paying her to babysit him.
Okay, they're the worst friends. They're so terrible to Katy in this episode.
Okay, so how it starts is Katy, she's so worked up. She's like, I need to get this out, I need to get this dress so Gloria will write me the recommendation letter because she needs to submit her thing to the fashion school. So Jorge, Ginger's got a performance, I think, right? Where Ginger needs a dress. So Jorge keeps asking, you've got to fix this dress, you've got to fix this dress, you've got to hem it, you've got to hem it, you've got to hem it, you've got to hem it. And she's like, I've got to sketch, I've got to do this. So he tries to use her sewing machine.
Even though he has plenty of dresses, as we see throughout the show. He has so many. And it's like he wears one every single night as Ginger.
Yeah, this must have been like a special one. I don't know. I don't remember. But it breaks the sewing machine. The sewing machine that was her last... So the sewing machine that was her mom's, who died a couple of years ago. And this was her mom's sewing machine.
Yeah. Okay. Biggest question of the episode.
So it's like -25 outside.
What? Biggest question of the episode. How does Katy's sketch not get wet? She's sitting in the bath. It's on a tray, but still, she's sitting there. Her arms are all wet, and she's drawing. I'm like, she's gonna ruin her book. That was what I was thinking.
That is what I said. I was like, who sketches in the bath? She goes, I figured it out. I'm gonna go take a bath and sketch.
And then they show her, and it's even worse than I pictured. Like, yeah, it's even more dangerous for her drawings.
I know, right? Like, all of her drawings are going to get ruined. But
no wonder she's such a weird designer. She just keeps sketching in the bath, and then the drawings get smudged, and then when she tries to do it, she makes it off the weird smudged ones.
Exactly.
All comes for full circle.
My notes is, why can't Jorge just hand sew? It's just the hemline.
And then they hand sew an entire fancy dress together. But somehow Jorge can't use a sewing machine and also cannot hand sew a quick hemline.
I know, right? It's a quick headline. Just hand sew it. Instead, he completely ruins it. And he's like, it'll be fine. I'll just sing a song and she'll be happy again. Like, I don't think that's going to work.
That's not how life works, Jorge.
I watched this with my mom and stuff. And she's like, yes, musical numbers make everything better. And I was like, if any of my friends ever ruin something and they try to fix it with a musical number, I will murder them.
Yeah. You're going to go, instead of doing Katy Keene, you're going to go full Riverdale.
Go Riverdale.
Actually, no, I think I would probably go Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on them.
I would go Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I will go Riverdale.
Oh. Ooh.
Yes, Molly would go trying to put spells on people.
I'm going to go make tea.
I'm going to go make tea to calm down.
I'm going to make tea and hex you.
Somebody to calm down.
You're like, I will murder you.
I will murder. Yes, but also in the beginning, they're all paying rent, I think. Or they're paying for cable, I think. Yeah.
Cable, and then Josie says that she hasn't watched TV since the entire time.
I haven't turned on the TV. I'm working at Plunkin's and Chubby's, which she kind of begged to work out. Couldn't she find some, like, higher-paying job? And she's like, and I don't turn on the TV. I barely have enough money to pay rent. Do I have to pay? Like, what?
And isn't her family somewhat wealthy?
So, yeah, I mean...
And it's like, why aren't they giving her any money? If she's, like, can't pay her bills and is trying, and she's working really hard?
They reveal that she gets a check for her, that they did give her a check for money, right?
No! The $2,000 was for her record deal, but she wasn't using it yet because of the Cabots.
That's true.
So her family left her high and dry, and her dad's, like, supposed to be a famous jazz musician.
Yeah, and her mom is the mayor, as we learned.
Yeah.
But I was so mad at Josie. I'm like, try to find a job better than Plunkin Donuts.
Okay, well, she did. She got a record deal.
Well, she did, but like...
But it's with a weird incest
Josie,
family.
Pay the money.
Pay the money. Wow.
I was very mad at Josie in this episode, because she's kind of whining about it, too. And then later, this is the episode where she figures out that Alexandra and Alex they were high school sweethearts.
Ew.
Ew.
Also, Alexandra and Alex, once again, like, how did Alexander and Alexandra, what family, like, how do you happen to just find, like, oh, these two children have the
same name.
Have pretty much the same name. Let's get married and make them siblings.
That was weird.
But they can still date because it's still sort of legal.
I mean, no, it is legal. It is legal. You were allowed to marry I looked this up before, because in the movie Clueless.
Oh, yeah.
I looked that up. I didn't find that as weird, because they didn't
grow up together. This one, they were, like, growing up together, and
I mean, they went to school, because the thing is, in this one, they go to school together, because they were high school sweethearts, and then their parents got married. Which I found weird, but I found it worse than Clueless.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I've gotten into big debates on whether Clueless is bad or not. It's legal. I mean, it's legal, so. And
it's
some
a little
states.
Strange, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like the Community incest episode with Garrett's wedding.
It.
That's what. Except that was funny.
That was funny. There's this one part. Well, so she's blaming Pepper, and for some reason Pepper comes and is she's like, okay, I'm gonna spend all night with my friends. We're gonna hang out all night.
And then it's like, wait, Pepper, don't you have a fancy hotel? And then Josie gets all weird, and she's like, Pepper, you have a fancy hotel, don't you?
She pretended to be Pepper and called the hotel, and the hotel's like, wait, you haven't paid. We're gonna call the cops. And Josie's like, what?
And I love her pretending to be Pepper. was my voice for Pepper. Oh, darling. Oh.
Ollie was really funny.
Dear, I need some towels.
Okay, yeah, I love that. That was her excuse.
Yeah.
It's not -25 outside.
Oh.
Do you remember last year in 2019?
Oh, wait. Only
-25 here in Chicago. I think it hit -25. We went out for ice cream, me and my family, but it was closed. So instead we had to go to a CVS and go find ice cream there instead.
-25 is not that. Okay, we live in Chicago, as we've said. It's not that bad. Like, I've survived worse. I've had it where when we had the polar vortex, it was the year before last year, right?
No, it was last year, I think.
No, at least the one that I'm thinking of. We had a full-on polar vortex, and so I was like, and it was like -15.
Last year it hit -25, I think.
Okay.
And it's just completely messed up.
I remember it hit really low.
No, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. I've been in quarantine for okay. Yeah.
We've been in quarantine for 5 years, apparently.
We've been in quarantine for 5 years. No, it was 2 years ago. You're right. I was still thinking it was 2019.
Oh, yeah. So
I was thinking that this winter was last winter.
Oh, okay. So it was the polar vortex, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to leave the house or anything, and it was freezing, but my friends got a snow day from school, so, like, I went over and I hung out with them all day, and, like...
We went out for ice cream, literally.
Okay, you went out for ice cream. That is too cold.
My brother is, okay, he is crazy. What he wore is a fleece sweater and a vest, but he didn't zip them up.
No!
He didn't zip them up. So, like, my mom is like, we have to go put on her snow pants because it's freezing. And I was like, oh, I'll put on my, I'll put on my jacket, you know. And my brother's wearing, like, a fleece that he didn't even zip up.
Oh, my gosh. I get cold by everything. Like, everything. I get cold sometimes in the middle of summer, like, randomly. Like, if I walk into a too air-conditioned area.
Oh, I hate in the middle of summer when it's, like, super hot outside and you walk inside and all of a sudden it's, like, a blast of cold air and then I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Temperature change.
Oh, yeah.
Point is, though, it was really cold. And we dealt with that. It was very cold, though. But Katie comes in at one point and she goes, oh my gosh, it's so cold I can't feel my toes or my hands or my face. She's wearing a skirt.
Yeah, of course it's cold. She's wearing no clothes. And was this one where they were doing their weird extra tight tank?
I think so. Well, okay. And then they realize, and then they're like, oh my gosh, it's crazy hot inside because the heater broke, so it became super hot inside. So then that made sense. But before, when they were wearing skirts, that did not make sense.
Oh my gosh.
That's all.
That is all I have for that episode.
Yeah. And again, the Josie.
Ooh. Ew.
Anyway.
Episode 6.
And it's Chapter 6. With Katie trying to move on from Kaya, she once again throws herself into work, which turns out to be a sticky situation with her clients. Pepper is confronted about what she's up to, but is surprised about the proposal she receives instead. Jorge learns he might be losing his coveted performance spot at Molly's Crisis to the winner of a drag queen pageant. So Jorge decides to enter Ginger and is surprised by his mother's reaction. Meanwhile, Josie is nervous about her mother coming to town and hear her EP release, and of course, meeting Alexander.
Dun dun dun. Okay, the rebound trope is something that I hate in all shows because it's like they're like, oh, you're trying to get over a breakup with a long-term significant other. Hey, why don't you go and fall in love with somebody else immediately?
Yeah, those
But it did spark a pretty excellent line.
Which one?
Timothy Chalamet, may I please? I will use that from now on with anyone, anywhere, even if it makes no sense.
No. Okay.
Because that is awesome.
But in this episode, there's Katy. Well, okay, how it starts is the prince, who she helped him and his girlfriend pick out clothes and then pick out engagement rings. And they got engaged. Now, the prince shows up and he has called it off. He called off the engagement because he says that now that they're engaged and stuff and taking pictures, she's becoming more and more like upset about not having the right diamonds on her tiara, like not having blah 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 or blah blah blah.
Because she's nervous, she said.
Because she's so nervous that she's just like crazy. But no, because he was like, yeah, before she would have like not even wanted a tiara. She would have, you know, she would have wanted to be plain, simple. She didn't grow up in a fancy like household, but now she's kind of doing all of that. So he breaks up with her.
No, he does not.
Well, okay, but that's what I don't know actually. Okay, I'm not sure. Did they break up and then get back together?
No.
Or did they just not?
They were together, and he and Katy are just cheaters. Also, I don't know what state I was in last night when I was watching this, but I wrote in my notes, Katy, you immoral woman, you'll get fired. When they started cheating.
Oh, yes. Okay, but I mean, we thought that they had actually broken up. But then at the end...
Well, I missed that plot point.
What?
That we thought they'd broken up.
Oh, no, yeah, he's like, yeah, we're done. And she's like, oh, okay, then. Come out, hang out with us. And they get together. And then she gets called in at the end of the episode. And him and his fiancé, or his ex... Okay. I'm just going to read you my notes. Katy's friends with the princess ex-fiancé. Don't do it, Katy. Like, stop, Katy. And then my next note is, just fiancé.
Just fiancé. Yeah, and then it's like... Okay. I started yelling in my notes. I swore a little bit in my notes because I was so worked up. I won't read you the swears, but I was... Because she was going... Because the fiancé looks at Katy and goes, I have always trusted you.
Yes, she's like...
And I was like, you just met her! I was freaking out.
Oh, right? That was so weird. I was like, you just met her? And, okay.
She's like, she's good at designing clothes for you?
And at the end, she's like, so, I have always trusted you. Will you design my wedding dress?
And then Katy, it zooms out, and Katy's like, oh no. And then the voiceover goes, I guess I'm royally screwed.
Yes. Okay. And
okay.
in this episode, when who asked somebody to design their wedding dress like that? I've always trusted you.
She's like,
you designed my engagement.
Katy Keene, you. She did the whole thing. Like, it sounded like she's like, I've always trusted you.
She sounds like she's about to murder Katy because, you know,
there was
cheated.
A lot of almost murder in this episode. Well,
yeah.
That's the quote of the podcast for today. But no, seriously.
Yes,
like, at the end there, she looks like she's gonna murder her. Jorge, when he's trying to practice with his mom, I swear it looked like he had crazy eyes and was gonna kill us all.
Yes, okay. So, Jorge is entering into a pageant so he can keep his Thursday night spot at Molly's Crisis.
Also, since when is Thursday the best night of anything? Like, Friday I could get, because that's like a good, like, people are out, like, there's dates, but it's like Thursdays.
Who knows? They probably have a reason.
Maybe.
It was, or they just chose they spun a wheel on whichever day it landed on. That's the one they chose. No,
but they all said that was prime time at the bar.
No, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Okay, never mind. But Jorge, his mom is like, okay, and now posture and smile, and his eyes go wide,
He's
and
like,
he's showing all of his teeth, and he is so creepy.
he looks
He looks crazy.
so scary.
He looks like he's about to murder us all. It was pretty funny.
I had laughed at that point. That show got me to laugh then.
Yeah, the show did get me to laugh. In this storyline, the Devereaux, the other queen, turns off the music when Ginger's singing.
They just let her.
They just, like, how does that work?
They're just like, oh, cool. Okay, you just turned off our music. Fine.
Ginger starts singing a cappella, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
And it's like, what? Everyone started getting excited when he was singing a cappella, and I was like, okay, he's a good singer. Like, Ginger is she. She's a good singer. But it's like, why are you getting so excited when she's singing a cappella?
Like they sing, like, oh, most people would have, like, stopped singing.
But then she sucked in the Q&A portion.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I like Jorge most of the time, but I didn't love this story. It was a little far-fetched.
Oh, I didn't dislike it. I found it weird, the fact that everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a cappella. Everything's amazing now.
And they just let Devereaux turn off the music. Like,
okay, and then the music starts coming back.
I know. Okay, that's...
Like, at the end of the song, there's, like, a piano in the background, which made no sense at all to me.
Didn't you know there's a disembodied piano that floats around whenever Jorge sings?
Whenever it gets very, very exciting.
Yes.
It's one of those things, like in musicals they do that, like, you know, like, they just start singing a cappella and then boom, the music comes on. But I was like, but they made a point of it being a cappella and the music not being on. You keep the music off.
Okay, Francois is a drag queen.
Yes.
And I loved that. And then he becomes Ginger's drag mom.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was cute. I liked that. I look forward to their partnership.
Yes.
I think they would be good friends in that. And like that, I think that's sweet that they're going to be the drag mom.
Do you have any more notes?
Mostly just me freaking out and like, why is this, like, the prince falling for her? I thought it was very strange that Gloria is so mean to Patricia when she's like, his commoner. And it's like,
well,
what?
I actually didn't.
Are you a medieval lady and, like, are you a queen? What?
How, Gloria was always so jealous of Katy.
Yeah.
It's like, Gloria, no, you're the one in charge of Lacey's.
Totally not Macy's.
Totally not Macy's. But it was like, you're the one in charge. You don't have to get jealous. That was weird.
Yeah.
But she did. And she caught calling her a commoner.
Well, I guess the only other note I have is just, once again, I guess we're royally screwed.
So will you continue watching?
No. No. What about you?
I will.
Okay, well, you'll have to fill me in.
I did not like the fact that it wasn't a musical, and I did not like Josie. And it was very far-fetched at points. But overall, it was funny, and I liked it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I feel like this episode I sounded like I very much didn't like it.
Yeah. I sounded exactly how I felt while watching it on this one. So
I sounded like I didn't like it, but see, that's the thing. I think I have stronger opinions about this than everything else. And I get annoyed at things. Even
we like to pick apart shows, too.
Even though I don't always pick apart shows, I just get annoyed at everything. My sister, I say this thing a lot. It's annoying and I hate it. I say it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think you've said it on the podcast a few times.
I think I have said it's annoying and I hate it before. I say it like all the time. So my sister, last night, she creates this song and she goes, "My name is Tabby, and it's annoying and I hate it. You're annoying and I hate it. everything's annoying and I hate it. And then at the end, at the end of the song, she goes, "Da-ba-da, I hate you."
I think
And
that needs to be our new intro music with just Rory singing.
"Da-ba-da,
My name's Tabby.
you."
It's annoying.
My name.
And I hate it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she went on for a really long time. Like a really long time.
That is incredible.
But please write us with any TV suggestions at thefirst6podcast@gmail.com.
Next week, we will be doing What We Do in the Shadows.
If you haven't already, please subscribe.
Keep watching.
And keep listening.
Thank you for listening to the First Six Podcast. This show is hosted by Molly Southgate and Tabby Hollowed. It is edited by Rob Southgate and produced by Southgate Media Group in conjunction with Mastery Media. You can find us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at The First Six Podcast. Get in touch with the show at thefirst6podcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us wherever you listen to this show. It really helps. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next channel.